What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Blitz Fantasy Football. My name's Blitz Link, and I'm here with the Roll Coverage Pod, Nick, and doing another mock draft. And draft season, this is the busiest draft weekend of the year. First 2 days before the season as well. I mean, Nick, we got football next week. It is going to be very exciting. What are your thoughts right now? Are you excited for opening day and watching the Eagles win by 2 touchdowns?
At least 2 touchdowns, yeah. But we also have football today. We were literally just talking about Ohio State, Texas. So football's
Yeah.
back, baby.
Football is officially back, and that's why we are ripping these mock drafts. This is the last time we're going to be able to get these drafts in before the season starts, and then we'll have all the in-season coverage for you guys that you need to know. So make sure you guys have notifications on our YouTube and subscribe for all the videos in season to help you win your fantasy football league. So Nick, let's get right into this. Let me go randomize this order real
Make sure you
quick
turn off
right
sound
here.
too.
We'll do 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and then a 4. And it looks like you're in the 4 hole and I'm in the 10 slot. Turn off sleeper sounds because those things can be annoying. Let's get right into this. We go Jamar Chase, Saquon Barkley, Jameer Gibbs. And you have a gift,
Oh,
an
this is a
absolute gift
W.
right there.
Gift. Yeah, I got him the other day for pick 6. I don't know how he fell or if you saw my Twitter post. Kyron Williams was in the 6th round in one of my drafts. Crazy
Ooh.
time this year, but you know what? This one's an easy one. Bijan Robinson. I'm a Panthers fan, man, but I'm sorry. I'll take those Falcons players. There's a reason why 2 of them are in the top 15.
I mean, yeah, the Falcons are going to be an electric offense. There's some people that have concerns about their offensive line, but it's honestly not that big of a concern for me. It's Bijan ran for 1,400 yards last year. Like the guy's going to be a monster. Heading into the 10 slot here, majority of the guys that I would take in this slot are gone. You see Lamb, Jefferson, if they fall to me, are guys that
Oh,
I'd be
yeah.
considering. But my highest overall player is Puka Nakua, a player who's falling down draft boards because of Matthew Stafford's back.
Yep.
And from what I've seen, I have no reasons to be concerned about Stafford's back long term. Obviously, he has had some injury history and stuff like that. But as far as the back goes, there's nothing telling me that the back injury is going to hinder him throughout the season. So I like that pick there. The turn goes Henry, Neighbors, Collins, Jacobs. I have to go stack. Ooh, I think we're gonna go a no running back build here just because BTJ
Ooh,
is still available. And you know I love myself some Brian Thomas Jr. this year is going to be an absolute monster. Is only going to be shadowed in
absolutely.
2 of his 17 games this season, which is nice to see, especially with him playing more on the outside. I think Liam Cohen's going to do great things in Jacksonville. So let's lock him in there. And we are starting risky. 2 wide receivers. I love the balance build, but can't pass out value when it's there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not going to lie. I'm one of those people that is fading Puka Nakua this year. I am a little bit concerned about the back, but the people that are going in on him are getting that value because you are seeing that slide a little bit.
I mean, listen,
Personally,
if you have a draft too, when you have Puka, like I'm sure there's going to be drafts where he falls to the second. You should laugh at your league mates and pick him right away if you see Puka Nakua in the second round.
I 100% agree with you. And that's, we were literally just talking about, oh, should I take 2 Falcons? You know what? In this situation, I'm not going to take Drake London. I feel like that's a little bit of diminishing returns there. But you know what? I'm going to do the opposite of what you're doing. We're going running backs. I'm going to go get
Hey,
Bucky Irving. I mean,
nice.
I
I
love
love Bucky.
Yeah, absolutely. Rashad White is still hurt. They really have no running back 2 after Bucky Irving, so it's really going to all be on his shoulders. Giz comes in there as the new OC. Todd Bowles seems excited about what this offense can offer. And of course, they got Igbuka, which is going to make the run game open up even more.
Yeah, no, Bucky's a great player here. The turn, I was really thinking you might have a 3 running back opportunity if Chase Brown fell to you there, but it looks like he went right before you. What are you thinking here? Already going
Oh,
2 running backs, and
you know what? We got a flex here. I'm going 3 running backs probably. But do I really want to go Omari and Hampton? No. You know what? I'm one of those guys, and this might be controversial. I love looking at bye weeks. I hate dudes taking like half their team out in 1 week. So you know what? Let's go with that wide receiver who I think is still going to get a lot of target share, even though he's got a new quarterback. He's now the wide receiver 1. I'm going to go with Jackson Smith and Jigba. I
that's
really
a
like
great
the
pick.
potential.
Yeah. I listen. JSN is going to be really good this year, and the team 9 before me snipes me with Amari and Hampton. That's crazy work right there. Uh, but I really do like what JSN can do in the Seahawks offense. I think they're honestly a little bit underrated, and there's more concerns with that group than I think are warranted right now, especially with the talent they have. Clint Kubiak did a lot in New Orleans last year with a less talented group, and a guy that's kind of falling in different formats is Trey McBride, finding himself in the third. He's all the way up to 15 on my big board, or not 15,
Wow.
sorry, 19 on my big board. Sorry.
Okay.
So Another guy that is, going a little bit later than he should, especially considering the fact he couldn't score touchdowns last year. That's not going to be something that happens in 2025 with his involvement and his usage. Based on who's available here, I know I need a running back, but I know how good George Kittle is. He's my 28th overall player, especially
Ooh,
as
I
you go
like
from
this.
PPR to half PPR to standard. He only gets more and more valuable. 49ers have a ton of injuries at the receiver position. I'm going to go get him and stack him right there. Looks like Brees Hall, Kenneth Walker goes. So my running back situation, let's take a look at how we're looking here.
Alvin Kamara, man.
Alvin Kamara is
Is
staring me
the
in the face.
offense. He's the offense in New Orleans. There's no way. To be honest, once you start getting down there, like looking at these running backs, Kamara, Hubbard, you're hoping at the high end of Trevion Henderson if you're taking him. And then after that, I feel like it falls pretty hard.
Yeah, there's some guys mixed in there with upside that I like, but there's a lot of names in this range that are landmines, and I really, really don't like them.
Cough, cough, James Conner.
Man, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go Kamara. I have Kamara like one or two guys higher than Travion Henderson, who I was strongly considering in that spot.
Yep.
If Kenneth Walker was available and fell to me there, I would have selected him. But Kamara, he's just been so good throughout his career. New Orleans has basically nobody else on offense who is going to get the ball. The biggest concern for me is he hasn't been really good in terms of rushing efficiency over the past few seasons, but the dump downs in half PPR and PPR formats are always nice with Alvin Kamara.
Absolutely. And you're talking about starting off with Spencer Rattler and then possibly going to Tyler Shuck. I mean, they're going to need a safety blanket. Alvin Kamara is going to be that safety blanket. No more Taysom Hill there. No more guys like that. He is the dependable option.
100%. Nick, who are we going with here in the fourth?
Oh, to be honest, I'm really looking at Terry McLaurin, but for some reason, I am feeling like I need to go with a different position here. I like what McLaurin has. I like that he got paid. Of course, Jaden Daniels is dynamic. I want to add him, but you know what? There's a guy that I think is going to benefit quite greatly. And to be honest, you just took George Kittle, who was a guy that I was looking at. So I'm going to go get Sam Laporta. Goff is going to need it, just like we keep talking about that safety valve. He's going to need that guy that he can depend on. And to be honest, right here, it makes it even easier for me because, again, I'm going to keep it going. Safety valve, safety valve, safety valve. RJ Harvey. Welcome to the team. I love that potential. Regardless of what anybody says, I think he's RB1. He's going to get most of those Bo Nix dump off passes behind the line of scrimmage, screen passes, everything. That's all going to RJ Harvey.
Yeah, I love RJ Harvey and his potential in that offense. I think one of the interesting parts about your first pick in this draft, or sorry, not first pick in this draft, your first pick in that turn there, Sam Laporta is a player that I've seen fluctuate on draft boards so much this year.
100%.
I've seen him fall to round 6. I've seen him go as early as the late 3rd. He's a player that I don't think a lot of people have confidence in just because of last year and the amount of mouths to feed. I think he's a perfect guy you look at in the middle to late 4th and say, the tight end drop off, you take a look at the guys available, Kelsey, Hawkinson, Andrews, all at the back tail of their primes.
Yep.
Right. And then you don't have upside options really towards, Tyler Warren. So if you want to feel like you get a tight end premium, let's say you're stuck in, a range where you don't love the options, maybe this 4 or 5 turn right here. I don't hate a Sam Laporta pick if you feel like that's the positional advantage you need. But there is definitely a clear gap between Kittle and Laporta in terms of tight end rankings. As far as where I'm going here, no brainer for me, Xavier Worthy. With Rice suspended 6 games to start the season, Xavier Worthy is going to be an absolute baller. We saw how good he was towards the end of the season. He had the most designed red zone rushes, plus ranked top 10 in targets in the red zone. Andy Reid finds a way to get his playmakers the ball in the red zone. Touchdowns are king in fantasy football. I'm going to buy into the touchdown spikes, even when Rashee Rice is there. And I'm also going to buy into a ton of volume when Rashee Rice is out to start the season. So I love Xavier Worthy filling in as my 3rd wide receiver in this format. And then as far as my next pick goes, you take a look at the running backs available. There's one guy that I'm a lot higher on than the consensus, and it is Tony Pollard. We feel like, I think a lot of the fantasy community thinks Tony Pollard's like a 32-year-old running back past his prime. The guy's only 28. He's only played 6 seasons. He's never really had a massive workload until the last 2 seasons. He is very fresh for a 28-year-old running back, and Tajay Spears is out to start the season. He's going to play 75% of snaps to start the year as a young quarterback in Cam Ward. His volume for going in the 6th round is crazy work, and I think Tony Pollard is a player that I love targeting after probably Travion Henderson and RJ Harvey go in this group of running backs here in the 4th and 6th round.
Absolutely. And again, his backup's hurt. So he's going to get those early carries. The Titans offense, to be honest, looked competent in training camp, looked competent in the first few preseason games. I like the potential there. And I agree with you. Most people think Tony Pollard's 30, 31. I mean, the other day I thought Amon-Ra St. Brown was 28. Come on. We all
I
have
do
brain
remember that.
lapses
I
on
do
occasion.
remember that.
Absolutely. But to be honest, I love both of the picks. And I agree with you. Once you get after that Trevion Henderson, RJ Harvey, Tony Pollard, it gets very, very tight.
It does. It does. Who are we going with here?
This is a tough one for me because, to be honest, I have my 3 running backs. If I go get another one, it's going to be a deep depth, and I already know who I'm going to go get with that. Here, I'm looking at like Jalen Waddle. If I'm going to be honest with you, I really like his potential. Tyreek Hill is rumored to be, possibly traded at some point, so he might have to become the wide receiver one, which means Tua is going to be looking his way all the time. Regardless, when he's on the field, he does get quite a bit of target share. I like that. It's either going to be him or Jerry Jeudy, if I'm going to be honest with you. You know what? I haven't taken him in a whole lot. We're going to go with Jalen Waddle here. I have not bet on Miami a whole lot. To be honest, I've faded Achan. I definitely fade Tyreek Hill all day long. And don't even get me started about Tua. So this is the one Dolphins player that I will accept.
Waddle's an interesting one because his like actual separation numbers and open like separation rates are crazy good. It's either one, Mike McDaniel's not making him a priority in the offense. Two,
Yep.
Tua can't get him the ball. Or three, Jalen Waddle is just not having, the type of, I don't want to say it, like route tree and type of skill
Yep.
set that is valuable in a Miami offense. So I don't know what is going on over there. And there's some rumors he's the new Kyle Pitts, but I don't know if I'm going to go that far. Waddle's incredibly talented. Nick, who are we going with here?
I know who the new Kyle Pitts is, but we'll save that for later. If that's the case, right now, my other guy fell. I was already talking about Jerry Jeudy. I might as well go get him. He's obviously wide receiver 1 with the Browns for now. I love their depth long term, but until they really figure out that quarterback position, Judy's going to be the guy. So this one's an easy one, if I'm going to be honest with you, because what are my other options? Quinshon Judkins? He hasn't even signed his contract.
Nope. No, he has not. And that is definitely something to look out for in that terms of the Browns offense is Judkins will not be starting for them week 1, which is concerning for me. A guy that does have some trade rumors surrounding his name, but I absolutely love right now. It's Jacoby Myers. And I think Jacoby
Ooh.
Myers is a bit underrated still based on the potential usage on this Raiders offense. Look, I know the trade rumors are due to contract situations, but Jacoby Myers played the entire preseason, was with this team, and now that he says I want out. I don't think it's going to wind up materializing. I think he'll wind up staying in Las Vegas, playing out the year, and it's a good sign that he actually participated in camp in the preseason and built chemistry with Geno Smith in this offense.
Absolutely.
We know Smith historically has targeted wide receivers at a very high rate. That's why I love buying into him as my flex wide receiver 4 on my team. And based on where I'm at, I'm going to go wide receiver again. Probably load up on running back later. I'm going to go Emeka Egbuka here. Going to be an absolute star to start the season. There's no other way to put it. I mean, the guy's going to start in the slot because Chris Godwin's out. Jalen McMillan's out to start the season as well. Mike Evans is going to be the guy that's shadowed basically on this Bucs offense. The Bucs have one of the higher passing rates in the NFL. And Emeka Egbuka is Ohio State's all-time leading yards and receptions leader. What else do I need to say? This guy's going to be an absolute stud from day 1 in Tampa Bay.
Yep, and he just got an extra boost this morning. He secured the number 2 position after the Bucks let go of their punter that wore number 2. So you know what? Emeka's got that college number back. I'm super excited for that. He is my go-to. I don't care anybody in this draft. If you walk out of a draft, walk out with Emeka Egbuka, especially Dynasty. There's no way you can fade him in Dynasty at all. If you take anybody other than maybe Matthew Golden over him, you need to get your head examined.
All right, Nick, who are we going with?
Oh, more interesting choices. So I've obviously already filled up everything. I could use a quarterback, but to be honest, my quarterback is sitting down there a little bit farther. So I'm going to take a little bit more depth. To be honest, I'm going to go get that tight end number 2 and Tyler Warren. Regardless of that Daniel Jones is there, he does like passing to tight ends. Warren looked amazing in the preseason. I mean, that one catch down the sidelines where he ended up mowing a dude over. I am so excited for this kid. I like Loveland more, but where Tyler Warren is right now, I just need a backup too. Loveland is going to be a must start if you get him. So I'm going to fade him there. And now, obviously, as we come around, oh, man, it is thin. Jawan Jennings, Dak Prescott. No, regardless, I do think Dak is going to have a fantastic year, but I feel like if you get CD, you have to pair him with Dak Prescott. Here, he's just one of those guys like that. To be honest, I don't really have anybody here that I love. especially given where my team is at. I don't have any really stacking um, time off for guys, so I could really go anywhere. You know what? I'm going to probably go get some running back depth. Let's go get no. God, there's so many great options. I'm going to go get Nick Chubb. You know what? His backup Mixon is out at least 6 weeks. He's going to end up getting the start for a while. When he did play, he was dynamic pre-ACL. He's obviously coming after that. Age 29. I still love it. I believed in Chubb coming out of college. I'm still going to continue that now, especially because I'll need it as running back depth. Hey, he's a win-win.
Chubb is a guy that I think can go as high as round 7, depending on how people view him in your home leagues and in your drafts.
Yep.
Having a starting role in a playoff team offense is always something that you look for. I don't know if I can buy back into Nick Chubb, though, with all the injuries, with all the struggles in terms of efficiency last year. I'm interested to see how he looks to start the season, how fresh his legs look. But what was encouraging is he ran 67% of routes with the first team, which was nice to see, which is something he's never done over his time with the Browns. So that was interesting for sure.
Yep.
I am going to load up and take Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt for the running back position. He's a guy on Sleeper that's going very different than, his ESPN ADPs and his other ADPs. Sleeper, he's very, very down there, and he's a steal in terms of people that don't necessarily know where he's going or stuff like that. So I think he's an interesting pick for sure. I'm not sure he has a massive workload to start the season, but he could definitely earn it, especially with Brian Robinson Jr. out there. In terms of the other running backs available, I'm going to go with half PPR. Half PPR, I got to go with Tank Bigsby here. Bigsby is going to have that early down work in Jacksonville that I really want to see, and their valuable touches and a better offense. So I'm kind of buying into this Jags offense now with Bigsby and Brian Thomas Jr. now in my lineup.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I love Bigsby. He's also got Byshul Tootin behind him. So that running back room for the Jaguars is going to be pretty awesome, especially with what we saw last year when Liam Cohen had a guy like Bucky Irving.
Yeah, I mean, he made Bucky Irving great, and Tank Bigsby was right behind him in terms of yards after contact last year. So I don't know if there's a correlation, but they look pretty good.
Hopefully it's a correlation for your team at least, but I'm going to go with a guy that's not going to be correlating with an offense for at least 6 weeks, and that's Brandon Ayuk. Love him when he's on the field. At least 6 weeks not on there, that depth. You know what? I maybe could have waited a tiny bit and let him slide, but I'll take him here. He's good enough when he's on the field, and at the first 6 weeks, I shouldn't need him. Now, here is where it gets interesting because my quarterback's a little bit farther down the board. I want to make sure I don't lose him, and I want to make sure that I also get a backup. I like Jaden Blue, but the rumors is he's still dealing with the ankle and won't be there week 1. So that's not going to help me anytime soon. Keenan Allen I like as well. Who Mims is apparently wide receiver 3. Did you hear that for Denver?
That's not necessarily the truth.
Hey, if he is, I don't care. I still love me some Marvin Mims. You know what? Marvin Mims is there. But I'm going to go with a different guy. I'm going to go with a guy that I'm actually going to take as my quarterback too, because the quarterback I'm going to take after this is there. But you know what? I need that backup quarterback. I need Drake May. I know I'm saying I'm taking my backup before I'm taking my regular guy, but my regular guy's ADP is just too low to take here.
Yeah, I think Drake May's the guy I was definitely looking at potentially going for my quarterback position for sure. Kind of based on some of the guys available, I still have my guy Justin Fields here, who I absolutely love inside my top 10 quarterbacks. Just because of his rushing upside alone, he's a great pickup. And I'm going to stack him with Braylon Allen in my running back room, another guy that's cut out for a lot of early down work in the Jets backfield right now. Who knows what's going to happen with Breece Hall this year, but I know for sure this coaching staff wants to go with a committee in the backfield, and they absolutely love Braylon Allen right now. So I think Braylon Allen's a great pickup in terms of finding him at the end of your draft, and he's a guy that is still really young and can take over this backfield as the year goes on. So I love Braylon Allen, finding him at the end of my draft.
Plus, with the constant Breece Hall trade rumors or, he might be traded, I mean, you can't go wrong with a guy like Braylon Allen. Plus, the way he runs, he doesn't run. He runs people over.
He's a physical runner, yeah.
I love him on the field. Now here, honestly, I might have to handcuff one guy, and that is Rachaad White. But if I do that, I don't want to go another running back. So you know what? I teased the running back that I was going to go get later. I'm going to go get him right now. running back 2, 3, whatever he is in Miami. I don't care. He's going to be running back 1 soon. Ollie Gordon. Devon Achane is still dealing with some sort of ankle or lower extremity issue. So I'm expecting an Ollie Gordon to become something, especially because Tyreek Hill believes in him. So, I mean, if the Cheetahs believe in you, you got something.
Ollie Gordon's a great pickup. I think Jalen Wright being out to start the year is great for him. We've seen the RB2 in Miami be extremely viable. Ollie Gordon's very good in short yardage situations, something with Devon Achane struggled with. So I think Ollie Gordon is a player that can carve himself out a massive role, and as a guy you have to target at the end of your drafts.
100%. And now here I have to wait. I can't do it. I got to take a defense. I got to take a kicker, something like that. You know what? There's some interesting ones. Who's your defense you like this year?
I stream defenses only.
What?
I never draft a defense.
You never draft a defense?
It's always stream defenses. Stream defenses allow you to get the best players in your draft. Defenses are streamable every single week. You can't really, rely on a great defense every single year. You got to stream defenses. It's the best way to go about it.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, this one I have to take one. So this one I'm going to take the 49ers because I do like them. I do like Mikael Williams on that defense now. They're obviously short of quite a bit, but they are really, really young. So that's a little bit of a concern for me. Here, my next pick is going to be my quarterback of the future. So my tease will finally be over.
Yeah, I'm stacking Dylan Sampson there. I know he's going to be the starter to open up the season. And, player I haven't been drafting a ton of, but I want to get some shares of is L.A. Manor there at wide receiver for the Titans. I love the fact that the Titans have a veteran receiver room, and I don't know that any of those guys are going to be healthy for the entire year. L.A. Manor showed that in the preseason he could play with the ones, had really good snaps with Cam Ward at quarterback, made some big-time catches. I love his, upside this season, potentially taking over as the Titans wide receiver 2 alongside Calvin Ridley in that offense. So I'd love snagging him right there at the end of my drafts.
Absolutely, 100%. Manor is going to be super awesome. And you know what? I finally complete the tease. My quarterback one of the future, Michael Penix. Him with Bijan. I mean, I can't go away from that. That's going to be a super awesome stack right there. And then here, it's going to – it'll let me take anything, even though we don't have a spot for it on here. You know what? Let's do it. We're doing this. I'm going to go get Tyler Algier if it'll let me. Completed the Atlanta stack. I got the handcuff. I got the quarterback. I'm ready for the season. Who you go with?
Yeah, but you're basically the Falcons over there.
Let's go. NFC South winners.
As far as my last pick goes, Kyle Monagai is a player that I think has, rised over Roschon Johnson for me. Like he is a player that, Ryan Poles went out and praised. I'm not going to draft him right now, but I think out of those two, that's who you target at this point. I'm going to go Will Shipley. I think Barkley is definitely in for some regression or potential injury this year just based on his usage from last season. Shipley's a player that can't be sitting on waivers when Saquon gets drafted. So if you are a Saquon Barkley owner, you need to make sure that you go out there and draft him because Will Shipley is going to be in for a monster year. Taking a look at our draft boards here, Nick, how do you think your team shook out?
Oh, I love my team. To be honest, I got a lot of diversity. Got some guys that could really help me out later in the season. To be honest, I'm looking at some of these computer teams. I like them too. Team 1 went a little running back heavy, but you know what? I feel like that is still competitive. I genuinely really like mine. Like I said, I wouldn't have even taken a guy like Drake May if maybe Michael Penix was a little bit higher, but I had to secure that quarterback. I couldn't end my season with Michael Penix and Daniel Jones as my quarterback, so got to have a little bit of security there. But otherwise, I'm very, very happy with it.
Yeah, I kind of went with the, wide receiver early, and I love my receiver room. So, I had
Absolutely.
to say, hey, towards the end of the draft, I have to stack upside running backs with my older veterans in Kamara and Pollard. I love the fact that I got Ja'Cory Crosky-Merritt there, who's a high upside guy for the Commanders. Some early down bangers like Tank Bigsby, Braylon Allen, and then Dylan Sampson mixed in there, who is going to open the season as the starter alongside Jerome Ford. I love this team. My biggest concern is my quarterback with Justin Fields, but he's still my quarterback 9 overall, just based on his points per game basis that he's had over his career. So absolutely love the squad that I drafted. I think that out of the 10 slot, it's one of my favorite spots to pick out of this year for sure. All in all, though, guys, drop a comment down below if you have your draft this weekend and need any questions answered. Our Blitz Sports Media team will be there to answer it for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Blitz fantasy football content, and me and Nick will catch you guys next time.
Peace.